What's up YouTube, Pit My Shed here. Just wanted to talk a little bit briefly about the news that broke the other day about Capcom coming out on their website and asking fans, the Resident Evil fans, if they'd like to see a Resident Evil 2 remake. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It was well received. It's had really positive feedback, so it looks like it might be happening. Usually when stuff hits the web and there gets a bit of ground behind it and a lot of stuff starts happening, that's when you can start. It looks like it's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually, just like the Final Fantasy VII remake was going to happen. So this is the Resident Evil remake that I'm playing. This sold really well. This was released a few months ago, and it was really well received. Sold really well. So well, in fact, that they're actually re-releasing Resident Evil 0 like this, exactly like this, and obviously it's set before Resident Evil 1. And I think the reason it sold so well is because a lot of people, younger gamers mainly, might not have played it and might not have experienced it and might have been like, oh well, I've played, they might have come into the franchise late on. They might have had the first ever console might have been an Xbox 360, and they might have just came in at Resident Evil 5. The first console might have been a GameCube, and they might have just come in at Resident Evil 4. So if they've come in that late, they've kind of maybe thought, oh well, what's Resident Evil 1? How did it all begin? Because to be fair, I don't think coming in at 4, 5 and 6 truly show, like, it doesn't do. It's best to play it from the beginning, because personally for me, Resident Evil 4, 5 and 6, although 4 was a good action game, it wasn't a good survival horror game. And people are going to disagree with me because everyone thinks that it's a great game. Everyone, but it had QTE moments. And there was no zombies. It was set in a weird setting. It was over the shoulder view. It just wasn't Resident Evil. The only thing Resident Evil about it was it had Leon Kennedy in it, and that was it. That was probably the only thing that was the only thing, and Albert Wesker at the end. That was the only things that had Resident Evil in it. So it was kind of not a good. I mean, if you've come in that late and you've just maybe you've come in at Resident Evil 6, and for that I apologise, but I think that's why it's sold so well, because it's for a new generation of gamers, and that's why they're doing it. And I think eventually they're going to remake 2 and 3. I just think that it needs to be done because it is such a good franchise.
Oh God.
And it just the story needs to be told again, and we've got all this new hardware and graphics and stuff, and I just think it's a great story. The Resident Evil story, from at least up to Resident Evil 3 anyway, is probably 4 of my favourite games. So if you haven't downloaded this, if you haven't played this, I strongly recommend playing it. I think it's a brilliant game. This is how a remake should be done, and hopefully this is what they'll do in Resident Evil 2 as well. When they remade this game, they added so much more to the game. They added, obviously the graphics were updated, the atmosphere was updated. There was they added totally new puzzles to the game that wasn't in the first original game. They added a totally different new area, which you could go outside, and there was the research center where, well, no, that was in the main game, but there was another bit where it was in the grounds of the mansion. Where family lived, and that's where the Umbrella Corporation experimented on them and stuff like that, and none of that was in the first game. So it's definitely, I'm just skipping the cutscenes because I can't really concentrate when cutscenes happen. I got my headphones on and stuff. So they added loads more to the game, and it's such a brilliant remake, and it stands up to today, and it's such a great game. I'm so glad they re-released it on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and stuff. I don't even know if it's out on Xbox One, but never mind. So what do I want to see from the Resident Evil 2 remake? Well, as I said, I'm quite old school when it comes to Resident Evil. I like the fixed camera angles. They add to the atmosphere. You could walk into a room and hear a noise, but you can't see what's in the room with you. Like now, I know there's some dogs in here because I've played this game to death. So that's what I want to see. I want to see the fixed camera angles. I want to see more puzzles. I want to see different parts to the city. I want to see different parts to the police station. I want to see stuff like that. I want to really really get a proper, true Resident Evil remake. And I also think that they should these dogs are going to jump and kill me. No, I've been quite good. So that's what I want to see. I want to see like the fixed camera angles. I just want to see, basically, I just want to see this game, this type of game, but set in the Resident Evil 2 world. I just think that would be absolutely amazing. It's such a great story, but I want to see more puzzles. I want to see more parts of the city. I want to see more parts of the police station. Oh God. I don't want to have the over-the-shoulder view. I don't want, you know, the QTEs. I don't want it to be like a Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 5 or 6. I think it should stay true to the original, as a mark of respect. I think it should stay fixed camera angles. I'm really big on the fixed camera angles thing. I'm old school with Resident Evil. I was devastated when they changed it like that. Maybe some more new characters. You know, it'd be cool just to see how William Birkin and stuff, just the graphics, I just think it would be absolutely amazing. And that's what I want to see. And then hopefully they'll remake Resident Evil 3. And it's just, I just think it'd be a fantastic game and a fantastic thing to do for the series. This is a brilliant game. Resident Evil 0 is a brilliant game. Resident Evil 2 is amazing. Resident Evil 2 is probably the best out of the whole Resident Evil series. It's just, it was more action. Well, it wasn't more action. It was more survival horror. It was more of it was a cooler setting. You know, the city, the viruses moved from the mansion to the city, and that's what I want to see. I want to see a really good remake, and I hope it's done really well. But like I say, stuff like remakes and stuff with games like Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil 2, Shenmue. Well, that's not a remake. That's just a new game. But it's never going to be like you want it. I mean, I know they're already talking about Final Fantasy. I'm going to go off topic, but I know they're already talking about Final Fantasy VII, how they're going to change the combat massively. And there's people that are kicking off like that. People just want to have their game that they grew up with brought forward with the graphics updated, and that's it. But I think a lot of the younger gamers that obviously this game sold so well, I think a lot of that's because a lot of younger gamers have played it. I think that they would actually appreciate if they got used to the camera angles and this, and then maybe they thought, you know, maybe that's something you can do in the comment section. Maybe they thought that, oh well, this is a lot better than the over-the-shoulder view that I had. You know, why did they change it? Stuff like that. You know, it's just something like that. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there and talk about that video because I'm a really big fan of Resident Evil. It was one of the first ever PlayStation games I ever played. I remember playing the first original when I was about 10, and it scared the shit out of me. And this was, when I played this on GameCube, it was just, wow, this is brilliant. So I'm really hoping that the Resident Evil 2 remake is exactly like this, done exactly like this. Maybe give the option. I know they've like done the tank controls where like you can do that, or you can use your analog. But maybe have something like that as an option of the camera angles. Maybe have the fixed camera angles, and then you press a button, and it switches to over-the-shoulder view. I don't know, just to keep everybody happy. But I would like to see fixed camera angles. And I know they can do it because there was some DLC for Resident Evil 5 where Chris and Jill go to the Spencer mansion. It's not this mansion, it's another mansion, but you could press a button and I think you had to go up to the door a few times and use the door, and then it went to fixed camera angles, and it worked. It worked. So that's something I want to see. So that's the end of the video, guys. I just wanted to put my opinion in there because I really respect and love this franchise, and I think it has massively lost its way. I don't know where they're going to go with Resident Evil 7. There is a new game also called Resident Evil Umbrella Corporation that's kind of been talked about. I don't know what that's going to be like. I also think that if they do the over-the-shoulder view on the Resident Evil 2 remake, I think it's going to remind me of Operation Raccoon City, which was a terrible game. Nice idea, but terrible game. So that's it for the video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at PimpMyShed. And tell you what, it'd be really interesting in the comment section as well. If anybody who's watched the video, just take like a couple of minutes just to, if you're a big fan of the series or if you're a younger gamer, let me know when you came in at the series. What was the first Resident Evil game you played? Did you play from the first one onwards, or did you come in at Resident Evil 4 and then just play 4, 5, and 4, 5, and 6, or have you just played 6? You know, just let me know. Give me some idea of well, you know, the youth of gamers. If you did download, if you hadn't played Resident Evil Remake and you downloaded it, what did you think of it? Did you think it was a good game? Did you prefer the fixed camera angles to the over the shoulder view? It'd be really, really interesting, and I'd really appreciate it if people could comment on it, because I'll read the comments and I'll actually comment back, because I'd love talking about stuff like this. So I'll try and keep the videos coming, guys, and I'll see you again for another video. Thanks very much.